Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Where are we?
So we are on one of my favorite rivers in Virginia, the James River. We've got the Blue Ridge Mountains. It's beautiful, excellent fishing.
Yeah, I think you ordered the weather for us today. It's perfect. Should we get out there?
Yeah, let's get on the water.
I'm gonna let you go first.
There you go, you step right on.
Don't leave me. Man, it is beautiful out here right now.
Isn't it? Yeah, it's a gorgeous day.
It makes you think about like how much we love the outdoors. And I'm curious, when did you first realize that you loved being outside and that it was something that would become a passion for you?
Well, so I was actually really fortunate to be brought up in a very outdoors-oriented family. All we knew was being outdoors. We fished, we camped, we hiked, you know, we traveled all over the country, fished in family walleye tournaments. That was just, I mean, for me, it was just it was a natural part of life. It's all I knew.
What do you remember about why you loved fishing, even from the very first time that you started fishing? Because I'm imagining you were really little, but maybe your first memory of actually catching a fish.
So some of my first memories, like I said, I've got pictures when I was 3 years old holding these big fish with my family up north in the Boundary Waters. Those are a little foggy, but I do remember vividly fishing for pike, casting big spoons when I was really young, 6, 7, 8. I just loved to fish. I loved just the adrenaline of casting a bait out, hooking into something. I mean, it was just, I was hooked immediately. It's all I wanted to do.
Is it the challenge that you love the most?
With fishing, there's all these things working against you, whether it be the fish or Mother Nature or all these different outside factors. And it really, for me, gives me the ability to focus all of my attention and all of my abilities into catching these fish.
Yeah. You said growing up you guys did some family tournaments, but when did you decide that you wanted to get more competitive with this and make it into something that would actually become a career?
That's kind of a funny story. So I was working at an archery shop as a bow tech, and I was tuning a customer's bow, and one of our regular customers brought in this flyer for this kayak fishing tournament. This is back when I think I was 26 years old, and I remember seeing that. I always kayak fished just recreationally. I was like, man, I didn't even know that kayak fishing tournaments existed. Like these were a thing. And I was like, I love to fish, and I'm just a natural born competitor. I played college volleyball and did all these other things. So I entered that tournament. I went and bought a used fishing kayak, took 3rd place, and I was hooked.
So, but you had to give up a career that you were very good in and things were going well. And how did you decide to take that leap of faith, bet on yourself, and say, yeah, I'm gonna go all in here?
A lot of doors just slowly started to open for me. It was a huge risk because I had a lot of security financially and just in general with routine. I had a house and I did all these things and I had a lot of security, and with this career I knew that I would have to forfeit all of that. But for me, I'm always living right in that moment, and I know that if I give my 110% and I allow myself to fail, I'm gonna get back up and I'm gonna give my 110% the next day, and eventually I play the long game. Eventually I know what's gonna work out.
You know, as women, I think a lot of times we doubt ourselves in situations, right? And you're in so many situations where you might be the only woman, or where people say, well, she's not like all these other guys. And yet you are so established as an incredible angler. How do you sometimes combat that doubt that may creep in? Because we all have it, right?
Right. I struggled with it. I've always been in kind of a male-dominated workspace, no matter what I've done throughout life. And it was, for a while, it was kind of like a pride thing when I had people question it or doubt it. And that was, I had to learn how to swallow that pride and just accept that, look, these people might not respect me or even take me seriously right out the gate, but I'm gonna prove them wrong eventually.
When did you feel like you actually made it?
That would probably have to be my first big national win. I had been trying for a couple of years on the national trails to get that big break, and when it finally happened, I can't even explain. I was so overcome with emotion. I qualified for Hobie Worlds. I was the first woman to ever do that in the entire country or anywhere else in the world, and that kind of gave me that little glimpse of hope and that I might be able to actually do this.
Who did you hear from? Because so many little girls probably watched and thought, oh wow, I might be able to do this too. You know, sometimes it helps so much to see another woman doing it, to really think that your own dreams could be a reality. Who reached out to you?
I'll never forget the amount of response that I got from from dads talking about their daughters that watched it. And before that time, I had never really wanted to be looked at as a female. You know, some of the headlines wrote, first female to do this, and I wasn't really about that, but that tournament changed my perspective, and it made me realize this is so much bigger than me. It's not about me doing this. This is for women everywhere, to show that we have the ability to get out there and compete against all the guys, not only compete, but win.
How have you been received in the angler space?
I feel like I've got an entire family of anglers, from just the beginners to the guys on the professional bass tours, that have encouraged me, have had my back. Every time I have a good tournament, a lot of them reach out to me, they'll text me. That's something that's always motivated me and encouraged me to keep going.
So even considering all of that and how much you love this, right, and you love being an angler, there are people that would say, well, making your passion your work can be dangerous because maybe you fall out of love with it. But how do you never fall out of love with this?
I think there's two ways to look at that. There's either the do what you love and you never work a day in your life, or there's, you know, you make your passion, you monetize your passion. And for me, it was never about monetizing what I love. I was going to operate with the idea that I want to do what I love and everything else will just follow and fall into place. And that's kind of how I've structured how I'm doing this. I've had the idea that, you know, I can live on very little as long as I'm happy. And what makes me happy is fishing. It's being outdoors every single day. And I truly believe that if I continue to do this, everything else is going to work out.
We talked about this a little bit before, but sometimes it helps so much for women to see other women doing something. And I know that you're such an encourager of women to get into this and to become anglers, or even just to go out and enjoy fishing, right? Sharing your love of it to others. What is that like for you when you see someone else decide that they're interested in what you do?
Like I said, it motivates me on a whole new level to see women, to help them realize that they belong here and that they're capable, and that this sport, it's open to anybody, no matter your background, no matter your gender. That's the beauty of it. And there's so much, you know, fishing is used in therapeutic ways all across the nation. You know, for vets, for people that come from abusive backgrounds, it's just being out here, like right now, don't you feel so calm and it's so serene? I think just having them see themselves in this space is really encouraging for them and empowering, and having the ability to help inspire them to do that just gives me more purpose and helps me continue each day.
Kristine, why do you think there are not more women in this sport?
I think there's a couple reasons for that. One, I think a lot of women don't see themselves in the sport, so it's tough to be encouraged to do that. And the biggest thing, and I actually asked a lot of women this, and that's why I founded my Women's Fishing Federation, a nonprofit. And most women, from what I've gathered, don't feel competent on the water.
And what are those conversations like when you gather those women together?
That event completely changed my life. It was, like I said, these women came from all different walks of life, all different backgrounds, all different skill levels. And just to see their genuine joy and passion for the sport and how much fishing meant to them for various reasons, and just seeing them enter tournaments and having more confidence getting out there, even if win or lose, how they do. That event had a lot of laughter, a lot of tears. It was truly life-changing for so many of us, including myself.
Oh goodness.
Let's find those sea legs.
I'm up! Woo! Kristine, this has been so much fun.
It really has, Laura. I'm so glad you made the trip down.
Thank you for having me. Now you can't get rid of me though, I'm just telling you. Don't try to live your life without me, okay? You're incredible, and I'm so honored to have spent time with you.
Back at you, Laura. Back at you.